Rangers hosted Falkirk with a host of changes to the team, although it's the same back four that started at home to Braga. Barron comes in for Diomande. The four forward players have it all to prove: Asgard, Barami, Antman and Miovski. If they can't perform against a club like Falkirk, then we may as well give up. Although Falkirk aren't a bad outfit, but it's unacceptable not to have won this game. Mercifully, this fixture was the last game in charge for Russell Martin, and less said about his time in charge, the better. Once again, 3 points is required as Rangers look to close the gap on stuttering Hearts. Sorry, just because the game's not quite over yet, but I don't think Rangers are going to score. So in the first half, good bit of play by Barami, found Barron who scuffed the effort. Again, good play by Rangers. Miovski takes a good touch, then Asgard found Barami, but unfortunately Miovski was offside. Miller in behind for Falkirk, but dealt with by Giga. Miovski was... Sorry, dealt with by Giga. Giga's bailed Rangers out a few times in early goings. Falkirk were the better team in the first 15 minutes. Probably the better team overall, to be honest. Antman heads wide from Aaron's cross. Falkirk played themselves into trouble. Miovski almost nicked the ball and then was brought down, but apparently not enough for a penalty. He looked like he was all over him, in my opinion, but Rangers certainly hadn't deserved anything from the play. Slow, methodical play with no penetration or threat. Some brilliant play by Barami, beating two Falkirk players and curls a shot just wide. Antman looked like he took too many touches, but then he finds Barron, who was wicked effort goes wide. Barron has probably looked Rangers' biggest goal threat, and there lies the problem. Dreadful from Rangers. Into the second half, Barami's tried to get Rangers going. More of this from him, and he would play every week. Butland has to save Rangers and comes off his line to clear. Antman off for Gassam and Magoma on for Aarons. I honestly don't know how Asgard was still on the pitch. Almost an absolute disaster for Rangers. Giga gave Butland a light back pass. Butland smashed the ball against Aguiman, and somehow Falkirk don't score and Rangers survive. Aguiman forces a save from Butland as Falkirk look the more likely. Rangers look certain to score brilliant by Miovski, and then Raskin finds Gassam, who cuts in, and it's a good save by Bain. Danilo on for Asgard as Rangers look to find some inspiration. 20 minutes remaining. Rangers set to go 7 points behind Celtic and remain 10 behind Hearts. Butland has to make the save from Williams. Diomande and Curtis coming on for Rangers. Barami and Barron off. Danilo flashes the ball across goal, but it wouldn't fall. And then a brilliant ball in by Curtis, but again, no takers. 10 minutes remaining. Roll will get the blame for the starting 11 today, but if they can't show up against Falkirk, then what hope do you have when can you rotate? What an effort by Williams. Terrific technique on the volley, but it goes over. A terrible week for Rangers. Out of Europe, probably out of the title race. It's a terrific week for Celtic. They won midweek in Europe against Feyenoord and take control of the title race, as it won't be long until they overtake Hearts. And with Rangers set to go to Tannadice and Rugby Park next, they could extend that 7 points advantage over Rangers. January feels a long way away. I think maybe at this stage all we can kind of hope for is we get a few players in January that can... they can't make them worse, let's be honest at this point. We get... realistically probably going to be maybe 2 or 3, but ideally like 3 or 4 players that can actually ignite something at this team. If you can't show up at home against Falkirk, and say no disrespect to Falkirk, they were excellent today, fully deserved of the point, maybe more. Similar to when we played them away, and it was Russell Martin's last game in charge. Yeah, it's going to be a long run into January. I would guess I'll be back on Wednesday.